Hello. Sorry for running a tad bit late. I was here. As we can see, we're already getting the comments in. So just waiting for the intro to update. And I will be hitting start. So welcome. This is episode 21. Let's get going. Roger. Hello, good morning, everybody. Hello, good morning, good morning. How are we doing? Everybody, get some time for those. I'm late, so everybody's been waiting on me. So everybody show up on time. Thank you. All right, let's do this. Boom. Good morning. Yeah, what excuse I got today? No, I didn't pick a motivational quote, and then I got my kid ready for school, took him, and then when I got back, I was chilling here, and I was like, all right, let's get everything set up. And I was deleting. I was making sure I have everything ready to delete because I have 21 days of just random hardware or software that I started storing, and my computer's getting slower because I'm not on top of all this. I have all my other shows that I haven't deleted because I'm just scared that I'm gonna lose the files, but I don't want to just keep them here, so I put them in my drives and my hard drives. So I've been kind of getting ready. I cleaned all this, so after today's episode, we will be able to delete off my computer, but I have everything else stored and saved. So stuff like that, the nice stuff, the good boring stuff we like to talk about here on this show. All right, let's see what you got, Jared. You're fired, buddy. Sorry. Showed up late. You show up on late or don't show up. Or is it? Yeah, do you show up on time? Show up or don't even show up at all? So yeah, the store's open, guys. Everybody, we're practicing. We got a June 1st launch. I talked about my stand up last night on My Manic Mondays. Last night was cool, man. Jared was in there with me the whole time, so we're just talking, chatting up, and I did like my set. Like even like for this, like I'm not afraid to like mess up. I literally can explain to somebody on the other side how to do this, and hopefully there'll be something I could offer in the future. Or if not, I just leave enough breadcrumbs where people can pick up. But yeah, this is actually my 21st day of doing streaming a show in the morning from 8 to 9 for 21 days. This is my consecutive day quest or whatnot. I had already kind of started doing stuff like this. Already been doing things for the last 2 years. Been doing 21-day challenges just to see if I can do stuff, and I have, and I like it. But I was like, well, I don't really like doing all these challenges and then recording myself and then trying to write and do all. It's like a lot. Like this is a lot, but I like this. This is what I can do. I could do this for a living. Like I can literally do this every day. I don't mind doing this. I'm showing you I'm doing this. I've decided to keep it going, so we'll go to day 30 maybe. We'll see what we do because this is something I can see myself just doing. I don't really want to check in every day like I've been doing because it is kind of real time. It's kind of funny, but I want to see how far I can get it going. The goal is to actually get a job, and that's why I'll be able to stop streaming or be able to be so busy that I can't stream because I actually have to work, or the hour that I have that streaming could actually be used for something else because I'm learning the value of time. I talk about it a lot, but now I'm really learning the value of time and spending it with my family, spending with my son. Like it's like, yeah, it's like 2 hours. And even like yesterday, he's like, hey, I want to go outside. I was like, oh, it's kind of hot. You want to go outside? He's like, yeah, but I want to do something with you outside. And I was like, oh, okay. You hear that stuff and you get like, someone wants to spend time with you. Someone loves you. Someone, got to put that time in. Same thing with these shows. Same thing with the business. You got to put that time in. So, the skinny of it all, I was trying to trim the fat and find the point A to point B, the straight and narrow, and this is what I'm doing. And I figured out a lot about myself. Like even like last night, I said on my stand up, I felt more comfortable out there. I feel more whatever. Tell me whatever you want. I can say whatever. I didn't realize that jokes, like people take jokes so serious. Like I'm just joking around, and I say stuff. You're like, ugh. I'm like, well, what if you want to joke around? Just joke around. Let's have fun. Let's talk about stuff. And you know, I picked this Tarantino quote because I was like, well, let me see. Filmmaker. We keep talking about it. We did Roger Corman last night, but Tarantino is oh, sorry. I thought I blocked myself from picking my nose. Don't write what you think people want to read. Find your voice and write about what's in your heart. I think this is what I'm doing. You know, AI probably picked that one for me, and it was kind of like, here, there you go. Try this one, or the Google search, whatever. But I like that. You know, don't write what you think people want to read. Like, don't think for them. Think for yourself, and then you find your voice and write about what's in your heart. So basically, I am having issues, you know, figuring out how do I work this corporate job, whatever. And I don't want to play this game. I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to give into that. And then I'm like, that's all there is here in Austin, really. Like, so I'm like, well, if I'm going to do that, let's do it in the fields I want to do. Like 4 or 5 episodes ago, I was, or last week for sure, I was trying to apply for like 4 of the jobs and trying to show them. But I really want to get my resume going, because every time I look at my resume online, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need to carve some time in for that. But at least I can do this. At least I can put that. I have one person out there, thank you, Jared, that is willing to hang out with me for a bit and get to know me a little bit more. But we're all going, like, man, yesterday was crazy. I went to one of my locations, and it wasn't a big order, but it was hard to get to. The order took like 30 minutes just to pull out the back because they had buried it. And I was like, oh man, I hate when they do this. Like my order's like this big and there's orders around it, so I got to use a pallet jack and whatnot. And it took me like 30 minutes, but I got it out. And then as I'm almost finishing this small order, this gentleman shows up, and he works for the company, and he's like a young guy, about 6'2", 6'3", good energy, probably like 21. I mean, sorry, not 20, probably like 24, 25, maybe 26. And I was sat next to him, next to the OSHA training that we had. And when I sat next to him and I kind of got to get to know each other. And comedy again was a big factor of the conversation. We were talking about got the cart can going. We were talking about how comedy just about who we like, and you know, because even with the guys I talked to at Texas Frightmare, they're from Louisiana, and I just used the Theo Vaughn reference, and they're like, oh yeah, don't also worry about Jake. I was like, not Jack Johnson, like Jake Johnson or something like that. And he's out there, and I was like, okay. And but like I used Theo Vaughn as a reference. That was easy for me to do that. Thank you so much. Cool, you're welcome. I don't know. Are you taking my ID? What's my identity? No, fine. I think the fact that, like, using the Theo Vaughn reference to be what do you call it? Bring us together in a conversation was awesome, because it was easy for us to talk. So even like when I saw this guy yesterday, we were, he was like, hey man, what's up? So we just kind of caught up a little bit, and I remember I mentioned to him I do open mics, and then he asked how I was going and started a whole conversation. We were like, I was supposed to be in that store maybe like max 45 minutes, like an hour. I was there for an extra like 20 extra, like, or actually he helped me, so I was supposed to shoot down. I was supposed to only be there for like 30 minutes, but then I ended up talking to him for another 15 minutes in the parking lot. I just started telling him about the video store idea that I have, and how I'm bringing it to life. I already made sure, you know, I got the pages going. I got my LLC. I got everything going, but that's already done. But trying to talk to him about just like he's a musician. That's where we got to, and talk to him about he's like, it's hard for a musician, because he's like, there's like 20, like in any direction, there's like 20 musicians or 20 guitarists, 20 drummers, like they're everywhere now. And I'm like, yeah, it's something you can teach yourself. Anybody can teach themselves instruments. Like you can be like, I want to play the guitar, and you just buy a guitar and you just play it, or you borrow one, or someone lets you have it, or someone hands you drums and says, here, you can have these drums if you learn them, and you start learning them. And then you become a musician, and you can become a world-class musician, but sometimes there's not a lot of spots for that. So you got to find something else, right? Or you go do it. Man, I'm lagging really bad. Yeah, my computer, I need to get a lot of stuff out of it. But what do you call it? I think the fact that like we're talking, and I told him like, well, I have the video store where you can come bring your talents, and we'll process it for you, so we can help you out, so you can focus on being an artist. And that's what he liked. And so you know, we like another just straight up cell phone number exchange. I was like, dang, this is cool. Like we're still like doing the old school thing, you know. And younger guy too. So, but he was just talking to him about it and getting him hyped up about it. And he was like, "What's it called again? I'm gonna look into it." And it was cool. Like I was like, "All right, awesome," and even like today, like I have to finish writing the sets um for Friday's show, and we're gonna film tomorrow. I planned everything in my head, and I forgot to kind of let people know. So now I'm backtracking a little bit, and then making sure everybody's on the right page. So I also got to write. I'm gonna write something. I got to write a setup or a layout for the show on Friday, so I can give it to my people already, so they could already know where we're going. And I would like to get them to it now and before I go to work. So I'll probably be cutting off a little bit early. I need at least 10, 15 minutes so I can just. I already got it written down. I just got to like show it. But I was talking about writing down. Wait, what did I do with that? Did I move the booklet? Here we go. So let's do it. Look at this. We started a challenge. We started a goal. 21 days. Just write it. Do it. That's it. I mean, there's nothing. You don't have to overthink things. You don't have to make excuses. You don't have to talk. Just do it. Like I make excuses now. I never used to make excuses. I used to love that I didn't make excuses, but now like I'm like, oh, I got things to excuse about because I have things in my life that I didn't have before. But those aren't excuses. Those are my new life. So get used to it. That's what I got to do. So we're going to we're not gonna cry about things. We're not going to gonna move forward. But 21 days, look, started on a Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 weeks. It just, I mean, it was an 8-week challenge actually. So what happened was I started an 8-week challenge because I was like, I need to get out of it. I need to work. I need to figure out how to quit my job and how to get into my job in my field. So I started just kind of like, this week right here, this actually counts, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this actually counts. If you see that dead space up there, those are days I didn't do anything. So I have 6 days, 2, 4, 6, 6 days of absolutely doing nothing. Where I told myself I was doing that week challenge, and I was like, because I was doing my routine, I was just like working, being family. I was like, oh my god. So then at a certain point, I realized, hey, I got to start doing something. So I thought, you know what? Well, the idea started here, but then the action started here. So like on that Saturday, I thought maybe I should stream, and I was like, let's figure it out. We have My Manic Mondays. So then when I got to like here, I was like, oh no, maybe I should. So if you go back to the beginning of all this and you start seeing when I started day 1, you'll see it's just me talking. And then 2, 3, 4. So I had to start marking like, all right, I did something. Did I do something for the show? And then here's another batch where, oh no, this is where I started catching up. But I was like, I didn't want any more of these days I didn't do, even though I did kind of mix. I was doing X's. So let's do the X's real quick. Because I started putting X's to show that, hey, I did do something. And then the all blackouts are just nothing. Because what it did, when I did nothing, I basically was just conducting, let's say I was collecting wood or fire, or I was collecting something to use my energy, because this takes a lot of energy. Here we go. Look at that. Now we have all X's on consecutive 21 days. So what you do is, what do you call it? What you do is you find ways, right? Like the green is because I couldn't find any utensils when I got started, so I had to use a shamrock green crayon that my son gave me. That he knows I like shamrock green, and he found it out of the box and gave it to me. It was right here, so I was using it. And it was quite a few days. It was like 2 weeks where I just kept using that, and then I came back and I was like, all right, gotta start doing it right. But yeah, like everything morphs, everything times you put into things, it's gonna happen. I did this with jogging too. I jogged for like 21 days in a row, and I just felt the what do you call it? The consistency. And it's probably about by the first week is the roughest, but after that for me, like week 2, 3, 4, I've been jogging since 6th grade. So like I got into the first program at Del Real Middle School, and my buddy Fernando Fernandez and Chapo and Ronnie Calderon, they kind of were like excellent students. But I look back at it, it's because Chapo's mom was very into health and fitness, so she was applying that into him, and then Ronnie got into it. So they were like, this kid's good. So these guys are really good cross country runners, and I'm the third guy. I'm like the third, fifth guy there, where I was one of the guys that was in the program, but I didn't take it serious. I just like, I'm tall and lanky, I could just kind of get there. But it wasn't until I started practicing with the varsity guys where I was like, oh, these guys are kicking my butt. And then I didn't realize that I was getting beyond the people where I was at and getting closer to the varsity level, because I was like, oh, I'm not that very good. But then what I also noticed that the guys that are younger than me, because I was starting 6th grade, so by the time I got to like high school, I noticed when I was like a junior, the people that were like in sixth or seventh, or sorry, when I was a freshman or sophomore, the guys are in sixth or seventh grade when I started. I was like, oh, those guys are eventually going to catch up to me. But by the time I got out 2 years later, when they were seniors, those guys were like state champions. So it's really cool to see all that progress. I didn't take cross country that serious because it was basketball was my love, and I was always with. But cross country was like makes sense to me. Like you're gonna run on a basketball court. Why not just do cross country? You're running anyways. So take that cross country energy and put it into basketball. So that's why I'm able. Like I used to not, and I'm older, but I used to not get tired. Like playing basketball, I could just play 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I could play a lot all day because I was conditioned. So this is what I've been doing for this. This is where that training comes in. Conditioning. We're conditioning ourselves to go boom, boom, boom. Now when I do a live stream, I don't want to look so rough. So I want to make sure I'm a little bit more presentable. I want to make sure that's certain things like that. So I've already started taking care of my health. I said a couple days ago. I've already started doing things, and I already feel better about myself. Sugar is really hard. It's an addiction, and sugar is hard to beat. But once you learn how to beat sugar, or you learn how to just stay away from it little by little, or you learn how to just take microdose on candy, once you learn how to do that, it gets easier. And you know, like that's something I'm open about, but I haven't talked about on this thing a lot. I am manic depressive, so I do have to battle against the grind and my depression. But I've taught myself I like to keep myself busy. I like to do things like this so I don't let it trigger my depression. Or maybe I'm in it, I just don't know it, or I know how to pretend to kind of be not like that. But that being said, that's one excuse I don't use. I'll never use that because that's something I just have to deal with. That's part of my life. It's like you don't ever get rid of it; you learn to live with it. So that's why I have a show, My Manic Mondays. So I talk about whatever I want to talk about in that show. It's at night, and this one's in the day. So this one's very very open to things. But it's also very like I'm trying to show this one as the time I do with this. Like, what am I doing with it? Let's be progressive. Let's move forward. Let's plan. All right, we're just gonna camp for a couple of days. Let's camp. That's like that's what this show is kind of getting me to understand. Where My Manic Mondays is like, hey, it's whatever it is. Even like I still did a little bit of we may play around this morning like you're late. That's a very My Manic Monday thing for me to do. So I definitely have to have my I'm gonna definitely change this back to my life in motion, but eventually I want to get there. But right now we're doing the 21 days of streaming. Maybe tomorrow I'll call it my life in motion, day 1 or day 22 of 30, and then we'll just keep going, figuring it out. But this is something I'm enjoying. This is something I want to show. I want to be showing, bring back. I don't know how long I can keep it going, like I said, because it does get exhausting. I still need to recap from this Sunday. I still got a bunch of things I need to recap. So at certain points, if I can get like this thing's already set, so all I got to do is like I could even do presets. So if I need to do like what do you call it? If I need to do I don't know. So we have presets, right? Like I can, if I know I'm gonna do 5 episodes Monday through Friday for sure, then let's get all that marketing done in one day, all the advertising, all the thumbnails, all the intro videos. Like I did that. On some of the episodes I did do that. I had like 2 or 3 in a row, but then I was realizing the writing. I had to make sure I get the writing done because I didn't know what I was gonna say. So then I just started doing it, and then I just started. 21. Sorry, I got a message thing here from work. Let me just look at this. Yeah. All right, cool. I also want to say thank you to everybody who's visiting the video store, and thank you to everybody who's been going on for me this journey. Thanks, Jared. It's fun, man. Like this has been a good understanding. I'm on this live to improve my American accent. Honestly, your accent is good as well as the topic. Oh, cool. Thank you. This is something I've actually been thinking about. Let's backtrack a little bit. Side adjacent note. Thank you for hanging out. I'm not. I am Mexican, so I'm Hispanic, and a lot of the words with my more Spanish. I'm Spanish. So your name is Sabia Rachid. Sabia Rachid. Sorry, I gotta practice those. That's the American in me. You want to work on your American accent? I can help you with that. It's very boring. It's very simple. It's very easy, but you have to do it every day. If you want to work on your American accent, you would have to do it. Start it one day, do it 21 days in a row, and see where you're at from the beginning to the next. This is a recommendation. This is not something I've done, but yeah, I get off the top of my head. If you wanna really, this is gonna sound funny. I can just give you some advice. This is acting advice. This is free. I should charge, but this will be free for everybody who wants to learn on a good. Pick a pop star that you like and learn their music, learn the way they sound, learn the way they enunciate, learn the way. And it can. This is why I say music, and I usually say pop star because they usually big and bright, and you can use more of the enunciating on words. I don't not no rap music because that'll mess you up. No country because that'll give you another accent. Like I'd like to listen like to when you I like well, I listen to pop, but like I like practicing when I was younger. Let me tell you this story. When I was younger, I had an accent, and my accent's still there. It's just in Spanish. Like my accent got divided from English to Spanish, so my accent is it hits in Spanish, not in English. And you still hear when I say like I live in Austin, which is 30 minutes north of San Marcos, or most people call it San Marcos or San Marcos. That's an O, but it's San Marcos, and that's when they'll be like, "Oh, you're Spanish." But enough said. In the early '90s, I was watching VH1 or MTV. I think it was MTV, and I really liked that. My aunt was into MTV a lot, so we used to watch a lot. My aunt being only 10 years older than me, so if I was 6, she was 16. Yeah, so I would watch MTV, and one time I was watching Billy Idol. Dad, ma, and if I was watching him, and I was like watching the interview, and I was just stunned because he's from the UK, he's British, so he's doing this interview, and he's just like, oh, it's what we want to do. I'll come in over here. I don't do a Billy Idol. Just my version of everything is, no, we're gonna come in. Yeah, we come a couple of times a day. Gonna be up there. Gonna be playing. Yeah, you come in. You want to do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, it's just you, baby. You in the rock and roll. And you start listening to this. I just made that up, and I was like, he doesn't sound like that when he sings. And then just a little research, talking to a few acting people, and I've always been an actor since I was a kid, so I just asked like, why does he sound like this, and why doesn't he sound like that? Why is it that sounds fake? And he was like, well, that's an English accent. And I was like, what? Dude, you can do it. And I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, oh, cheerio. I think it was 101 Dalmatians is the movie. I reference a lot of movies. My life's based in movies. That's the timeline I use. So 101 Dalmatians, the puppies, the puppies. My voice isn't warmed up either, so I have a lot of that. You got to warm up as a voice actor and stuff. So um, you don't have to. Some people don't. I do. Um, but the puppies, where are the puppies? Oh no, the puppies. So you start doing kind of stuff like that, and then I was like, oh, so you can do it. So then I started focusing on the accent on the American one, just listening to some of his songs. But it was like man, like Janet Jackson, Paul Abdul, those like pop songs. I thought straight up, don't tell me if it's gonna be with you or me together. Oh, oh, oh. So if you have an accent, and if you just have like if I have accent and I have to sing this, I sing song, straight up, don't tell me if you're going to be with me, with you forever. But just keep saying it like that. What's gonna help you the most is reading it. You have to read as you sing, so you can see how the word looks, and it gets memorized in your head, and it takes forever, but you keep doing it. But yeah, you can learn an American accent just by singing, watch a movie, put the subtitles on. It was another bit of good advice. Put the subtitles on, read it, and listen to it. Go back if you like a scene. Dirty Harry, do you feel lucky, punk? Huh? Will you? And you're like, oh, I love that scene. Rewatch it, watch it, and keep play it in your head. I'm an actor. I when you say I saw improve, but I mean you brought improve, but I thought I saw improv because I saw it real fast. But I'm an improv actor. What do you call it? So yeah, it's not really an American. I'm American, so not really. I'm not faking this accent. I just learned to improve it at a younger age. I sound like this. I don't. I don't sound like my region, which is kind of crazy. I'm finding out people really trip out about that. That I don't sound like I'm from the border of Texas and Mexico, but I've always sound like this. I've never. I don't. I don't know. This is how I sound. But I know that there were times where I would talk like Teach Marin. Little times I'd be talking and be like, hey, where we going here? Where's going? What time we going to be up there tomorrow? Okay. And I'd be like, oh, wow. So I realized I was like, oh, maybe I saw a lot of Cheech movies or was listening to them. So I was like, all right, I pick up things and a lot of those because a lot of that Cheech accents where I'm from. And that's where you get a lot. Hey, what's up? Hey, whoa, hey, sound effects, accents, whatnot. So I kind of learned a bunch of that stuff. But I don't know. Just read a lot of comic books, and I live in sci-fi. So I think a lot of the things I like to watch are fantasy and I just like to work on it, man. I'm an actor, dude. You gotta read. You gotta read as an actor. I didn't read very well because my first language is Spanish, and I didn't read very well in high school, like out loud. I could read to myself, but I didn't realize it was a thing you had to work on. So I have a lot of public speaking too. So I've taken oh man, I can't even, I have a degree in communications. Like I just learned how to communicate. Now I'm learning how to communicate like this. You know what I mean? But I like to hear your accent and see how you sound. And if it bothers you or something, or maybe something you want to work with, or maybe not bother you, but maybe it's something you think you'd have improvement, maybe I could help you. But it's just follow me, and if you just those 3 steps, like watch a movie, and American movie, with American the way what you kind well actually if you want to learn American accent, watch American movie. You want to watch French, you watch French movie. Don't watch American actors doing French. Watch actually French movie. If you want to watch, watch, be immersed in it. But it just depends what you want to do. And this is stuff I can help you out in the video store too, because I can do little YouTube videos where I talk about stuff, or I can clip this and put it in there, and you can be forever part of the video store, because this is part of this is actually very crucial. This is important, because I do have I gotta kind of talk. This is a resume show, I guess, when we're talking about me. I've noticed about myself that I am American, but I was raised in Mexico. So my mom's from Mexico, my dad's from America, so it makes me Mexican American. But I have the culture and the upbringing of someone that was raised in a foreign country or third world country, or Mexico. So I notice other cultures pick that up on me, and I don't have this Americanness to me. And I am very American, but I'm also very my culture. So I live in that. I live in both worlds, and I try to keep. That's why my show, Electrónico Fantástico, the show we're throwing on this Friday at 8 p.m. Not 7. Originally was 7. We got moved to 8. It's a Spanglish show because I speak a lot of Spanglish. Speak Spanish, but also there's a lot of people. I'm trying to form this show into. It was first a very traumatic experience show, and then I realized right away people don't want to hear that about me. People don't want to talk to me about like trauma and stuff. They do want to hear that you can get through it. They want to, but they don't want me to like. They even my stand up, right? Something like something that upsets people, they'll let me know, or like the audience doesn't like it, or they don't want to hear from me. But I'm like, whatever. That's just who I am. But this show's slowly forming into a communication show. I have stand-up comedians, and this week I have Sam Lopez and JP Lambies. And Sam is Mexican American, and I believe JP is Korean American. I'm not. I could get this wrong. I might be wrong. I didn't actually ask him. I think we had a talk, and I think he said he was Korean, but I don't know. I didn't confirm. But I'm just saying. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of American in there, and there's a lot of other cultures in there. So I want this show to, it's Spanglish, it's fun, and maybe the bottom part will change. I always want to be electrónico fantástico. I always want to have fun, but I want to be electrical fun. But at the same time, this is a communication show. I don't know where it came from. I worked at theater. I've been working at theater for 3 years. I've done a lot of shows, and I want to be part of this, and I want to show. I have stories to tell. I got things I could do. I've myself for this. I just wasn't doing it. This streaming show is pulling it out of me. It's making me do this. This whole show is me doing something I do anyways, but I'm bringing you with me. But it's also hiring people and other managers, and people want to hire somebody with the talents that I can offer, which I'm learning to use, because I still haven't finished this card. My my training card. Thank you for your comment. I'll get back to the conversation because I still haven't finished my upbringing, my card for the video store. This actually needs to be finished before I get to the video store. But we still got kind of some time. Got about 10 days, about 9 days. But we got to use the time wisely. And I will be taking a break probably somewhere there in like a day or two just to kind of like unwind. I still got to delete all this video files I don't need anymore. But like my show is going to be it's going to be. I want it to be. I want it to focus. The main theme is the stand up, because I love stand up, and I'm trying to be a stand up comedian. That's why I do the open mics, and the show is to show that I can have fun. I also love improv. I love acting, so I want to show that. But the communication part is like the main thing. Also, I get to do video sketches on my part, but showing the video. Showing the process of acting is what I really want. I want people that no matter, even if you don't speak English or you don't speak the same language, you can communicate through motion and movement. So this is what the show is kind of about. I want to eventually get there, but I'm new. I'm barely learning. It's my second show. So I actually now my main thing for this show is 50-minute show. Like I did almost a 76-minute, 80-minute show, and that's way too long. I didn't realize last time I was moving slow, but now I gotta be all right. Let's go. Where's the timer at? I gotta look at I gotta host it. I got to host. I wasn't really hosting, but now it's like, hey, but I know that through experience. The first one was just like, if it was a one and done, I'd be like, I did it for my birthday. But I was like, nah, I want to keep this going. We're also going to be giving away, I haven't asked yet, but I'll ask today. If we give away, if everybody who purchases a ticket is going to get a raspa, so a snow cone, Mexican style snow cone. And I need to go purchase all that stuff too. So see how it gets stuff, but we're going to have fun. And I think I'm content creating. I think exactly what I've been doing. And I think I'm finally got enough confidence, enough just cojones to do this. I didn't plan on even doing this. This is a thumbnail, but I have to do this to help me out and help everybody else watching see where we're at. I can't just be getting on here and talking and ranting, because then eventually it's going to be a guy who's just talking and ranting and complaining. I don't want to do that. This is what we're doing. We're going somewhere. We're moving the needle. We're moving the first down. We're going to get that touchdown. We're going to go. We're going to make some plays. We got to get the dunk. This is what we're doing. This is everything here on this thumbnail is for letting you know kind of where I'm at, what I'm doing a little bit. It's in the title, episode number 21, 21 days of streaming to get more subs, episode number 21 of 21. Applying myself today so I can be better prepared for a day like tomorrow. The future is now. Let's network. That's what I was writing, because this was a job resume show. This is what it is. Tuesday, week 3. That's for me, so I know where I'm at. And then I have my weak ass website, CJRobles.com, that I need to work on. But I can show things like that. I can literally put this on there and be, what have you been up to? I've been doing this. This has been leading me to my video store. My video store is going to be open on June 1st. I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing, but this is kind of what we're going. We're going with My Manic Movies. And I understand, like, I'm actually opening a whirlwind of pain here, because the other day I was thinking about, like, if I'm going to be an open source for people to be able to bring their movies, talk about them, there's going to be a lot of people out there. So I'm going to need to filter this out. And I'm not trying to gatekeep, but I am going to need to figure out a way to make this doable, because I can't put all my time into it and then not make money and then not grow, and not, it's just like, I got to take care of myself. So it's got to be, the juice has got to be worth the squeeze, but also you got to squeeze some juice, some blackberries to know if they got juice in them, So you got to squeeze, and this is what I'm doing. But if I could, and if it was 1997, 98, 99, right where movies are getting like really, really hyped up, getting good, I would open something like this. I'd order literally a brick to mortar, something small, something where I can hang out with my friends, something where I can spend time with colleagues and just people with the same, and people that have Bob comes in on Tuesdays, and Bob is the guy that he reads every upcoming comic for this brand. It's a local independent guy, and he talks about them. That's the kind of conversations I want to have. That's the kind of things I want to talk about. Or here's Sarah. Sarah works in YouTube for us, so she goes through all the YouTube channels, and she takes suggestions on YouTube movies, and we kind of watch them. We talk about them. I'm literally on the committee now for watching awkward, cool 90s style MTV liquid MTV style movies, because I got Jerry asked me to be part of the team, and now I'm like, great, now I got to do that, and I want to do that. And that's what I want to do. So I'm figuring out how to do this. I added my Patreon, which I haven't even done anything with, but I'm learning how to do Patreon, because I know a lot of people that have made a living off Patreon, and that they can get to their full potential, and that's what I want to do. I want to get there. So we start doing things, but the video store is going to come to life. A lot of the stuff, it will have charges, but it's going to be a lot of free stuff. So I don't want people to lose like, all this guys is going to be a paywall thing. No, I mean, I am, because I have to, but I'm also going to be a guy that, I know how to, we're looking at my steps. So I got here. So, I'm leaving crumbs, and this is not just for you to open a business, or this is for you to help yourself out. If you want it, this is for me. So if you want to come around, this is what it does, but this is what I'm talking about, a new sketch comedy experience, because I think I know what I'm doing, right? We never know until we do it. And then once we do it, I can think about it and make adjustments and whatnot. And eventually one day I'll be on the other side, and people will be taking photos with me and asking me for advice. But that might happen, but that's a good little dream to have, We start small, we work our way up, but you got to do something. What I always say, I found out new things, but when I was younger, in my early 20s, and then I kept this all my 20s, there are 3 things that are going to hold you back in life. I feel like you should always be on top. One is going to be family. You have to be careful with your family. You got to be choosy with your family. You have family members that are going to pick you up, and some families are going to put you down. Be the ones that are going to be they're going to want to help you, succeed, or just the ones that are just neutrals, But also, like, if you have a toxic, like, I have a toxic relationship with one of my brothers, like that. I tried to help him out for years, didn't work out, so I had to learn I can't help him. But without me choosing my own thing, like you gotta watch out family, because you actually could be around bad influences and whatnot. But also like you're putting your time somewhere else, maybe just on other things you shouldn't be doing, or things you should be doing, or just spending a lot of time hanging out, and you're just like, I'd rather be working on other things. But if they're gonna give you shit for not being around and you want to grow. And that's something like, say, family's a hard one, because family, and I mean friends and family, because if you start doing things, start hanging out with other people, and other people start getting after get mad at you, or start changing, thinking you're changing, it was like, maybe you're going where you need to be, and maybe you're just figuring it out, and people don't understand you anymore. That you heard David Goggins always say, there's a point where people aren't going to understand you, you're not going to be recognizable. That's when you're doing something good. And then like Little Wayne says, if people ain't hating on you, I can't do my Wayne. People ain't hating on you, then you ain't doing something right. Oh man, I don't do a Lil Wayne, but I try to do a Little Wayne. Now my voice is asleep. But I think it's like my default voice. It just stays like this. But I think, like, that's what I was saying. I don't want to just be a guy on the computer complaining or crying. It's because you're not. It's not. You're not. You're gonna have 100 episodes of you complaining, because I got 86 episodes of me doing My Manic Mondays and me figuring things out. I tell some people I do interviews, and they like that. They want more interviews. So My Manic Mondays, I need to go back to going to interviews. I already got my first buddy. I already got he's coming on. He's gonna be his third time on the show. If you ever seen the show, you know who I'm talking about. I'll tell you his name, but he doesn't go by this online. But his name's Mark. Met him a couple years ago at the Horror Fans for Healing, and you talk about that with Chainsaw Jerry and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family. That was a great experience. Great, I learned a lot from them. Always like to give them, look, they're right here. Look, they're right there. I've got to spend time with them. And it was a fun time. That big fella in the back with the beard and the black hat with the white beard and not the cane, that's Ed Neal. He's a hitchhiker. There's a reason why they casted him as the hitchhiker in that movie. Man, he is funny, but he will mess with you. He likes little pranks. He pranked me good. He pranked me real good. It's just one of those things where you think people are like laughing at you because you're doing something funny, but it's the person behind you doing something actually funny, and you're not. So you catch it halfway, and you're like, oh God, he's been punking me. So it's one of those moments. But I wouldn't have that moment if I didn't step up and do it. So, there's a lot of me built everywhere. So I'm trying to pick up the pieces and put them back and show everybody, like, all right. But at the same time, we're going forward. I'm not going to try to stuck. But the video store, like I say, I wanted to, it's going to be a real thing. June 1st, we're going to soft open it. Think Bob's Burgers. Have y'all seen Bob's Burgers? Think Bob's Burgers. That's going to be a very, I'm assuming that's how the store is going to start in the beginning, and we're going to work our way up. But I have, I even have, like, I was thinking of the layout. I haven't played it. I haven't drawn it, but I was thinking of the layout. Just like, how are we going to do the layout? Like my jokes from yesterday. See, I've been doing my 10 joke thing. I got to talk about that. So to help you out for stand up. So yeah, if you just start writing jokes, if you don't know how to write them, just figure them out. That's the hard part. That's the getting on stage is one battle alone. What you're saying is another thing, but just learning how to tell jokes, that's a beast. Man, it's hard. And I don't know. I think people just focus on they don't even focus on my words, really. They just look at me saying the words. You should be seeing where the words come from. But here I get to show you. Here I get to talk to you. And if you follow me, we'll see where we go. Remember, I'm totally D&D in this. This is Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to imagine our future, and then we're going to bring it to life. Starts with a quest. So Blockbuster is the main thing. I was even thinking I can even show you where the ideas came from, how this came from. But Blockbuster is let me look back at this thing for a little bit while we talk about this. It's a big store, right? Usually they're like in a plaza, or they were their own store. And my Blockbuster, when you walked in, maybe I could find a little photo, but when you walk into my Blockbuster, it was more like you had the like the kiosk or the little area where they would hang out. Hold on, let me put Blockbuster store. This is not my model. I'm just saying this is where I want to get kind of like, if I get this big, this is corporate. I want to do mom and pop. I want to do little. Oh, that's awesome. So this is what we're picking. But we're picking little things. What can we pick from the big guy that we can bring down for the little world? What can we do in our small world? And I saw that last Blockbuster documentary, and I liked it. It was good. What's in Bend, Oregon, I believe? Bend. Okay, here we go. This one. kind of looks kind of like where you walk in. All right, this will work. All right, let's see real quick. And I think it's on the last blockbuster. Somebody who went to the last blockbuster and they looked at it because I think it's still around, right? We'll find out. But anyways, I know the experience wants to come back. Hey, Clerks! Look at this. I'll just start showing you guys. This is cool. Let's watch this here. We'll get rid of this. No, we're talking about this, so we're gonna keep that there. Visiting the last blockbuster. There we are. Look, that's where it all started, people. Clerks. You even got the signature from Kevin Smith. What's it say? To live good, folks, at the only blockbuster that matters. Keep the faith. Is that what that says? Keep the faith. Yeah. Kevin Smith. Look at that. Oh, my boy. That's Brian and Jeff and Marilyn and Kevin and Jay and Ernie and Scott and man, all those. I guess all of them. There's a ton of them. There's Ernie O'Donnell. There's a ton of them. Brian Johnson. You start appreciating like movies like this and why people love them so much. But let's see if we can get the photo of the. So we're gonna have merch. So this is what we're doing. Like we're gonna have merch. We're just seeing how it is because there we go. So this is how my blockbuster was. When you walk in, you see kind of like the person in the middle. The see people go in, go out. The rest of the exit to the back of the restroom like all the way straight, and then there's the aisles right there, right? So I kind of wanna. I was thinking about it. And I kind of wanna do something like this. Right there you have the PS2 games, and then you have all the movies in the back. So I do want to have something where our layout is like this. Now we do got to figure out what kind of size we're working with. So we do first think of the idea, and then we got to actually see the rest. He's in the So I think this was in 2020. But see, new releases, we got to have a wall. So we're just writing out what we need. We know we need merch. We know we're gonna need a wall of a couple walls, DVDs, VHSs, and whatever else. Cassettes. If anybody wants it, because they're bringing cassettes back, I think. If anybody wants cassettes, I think they're coming back because this digital thing is people want privacy, and cassettes are our last true voice, and no one can alter it. I think the VHSs are coming back. I prayed for them. I have an idea to bring a version of a VHS back, and I told my brother 2 years ago to get on that because he wants to be a business guy or whatever, and he hasn't done jack. So it's not his idea, it's my idea. So I need to bring it live, but I told it all to him and he loves it. So that was just for me to get it out and see, and he's gonna love anything I say, really. So I groomed him like that. I know he messed up when he was 6 months old, and fallen in love with me and asking me to be his big brother, and I just been his big brother. So a lot of this stuff is the big brother in me. Now that I'm a father, a lot of there's a dad in me caring. So the big brother in me doesn't really have to care as much. I felt like I didn't have to care as much as the dad does. The dad has to care way more. But the big brother can just be observant, care enough, watch, be example. But the dad is the example. The dad is the role model. The dad is all this. My son didn't ask to be on this earth, but I brought him here. So I'm going to make sure he understands how to navigate, make him have the best. And then it's also dealing with people. This thing here that I'm dealing with, I sometimes come off as aggressive or a-hole because I'm just always doing stuff. And now I'm being myself. And people are like, hey, it's the internet. It's to be your best self. It's like I'm being real. This also thing is I'm being real. How much of this do you want? Like I'm burned out. It's hard to do this stuff. I'm showing you firsthand that this is rough, but no excuses. We're gonna keep going. See, I don't want to be like that, but I want to keep looking at how we can build this. It's a little mom and pop store. You know what? I forgot. Damn stupid. I forgot that I put up the. Hold on, sorry. I forgot that I put this up, and I was doing all these hand motions. What was the best I'm gonna do? Anyways, as we're going through this, I'm trying to figure out the layout, and we are gonna have like the return. We got to return stuff. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but we're gonna return. I know we have returns. We have late fees. That's gonna be the fun part. Everybody likes that one. Be Kind, Rewind, like the movie. Love that movie. Let's see what else. So we're gonna put the entrance right here. The door, because it is gonna. I'm gonna try to keep it as small as possible, but kind of like a GameStop kind of thing, kind of feel, not too, but more squarey, like the Blockbuster and the GameStop uses like a little tube or a rectangle. But yeah, I even forgot what else we'll talk about today because I was going to talk about. Yeah, talk about Electronico Fantastico. All right, I need to start getting the warehouse ready because we are going to have stuff coming in. Yeah, just talking about. Yeah, there's, just everything from Texas Frightmare. Just always, I love being around those people, man. They'll support you. And like even right here with Clerks, because of Clerks, I have this short movie I said I was gonna keep doing. It keeps being put to the side, but I keep bringing it closer and closer to me. I've been thinking about it a lot. So I hold on, did I keep the freaking cool? I've been thinking about it a lot. So this is gonna help me kind of get the story out when I think about, okay, I know what they're gonna do. I know where they want to go. I know what the characters are. Like I've been thinking about this story a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Larry, bro, take care. But yeah, so we're gonna get this thing going. If anybody out there has been following me for like Jr., he said he's been getting motivated to do something for 21 days. Do it. I just say encourage you, do it. It's not hard. Anything. It doesn't. I wouldn't even pick something I want to do. I'd pick something. I mean, I'd pick something I want to do, not I need to do. Like something for me would be like I would need to be a better illustrator, but I gotta do. If I do the 21 days on that, that wouldn't make me. But that that's an excuse. Look at that shit. I should just do it for 21 days and I'll be a better illustrator. So that's what you want. If you want to do comedy, that's what I did. Write for 21 days. Write what you think jokes are for 21 days. And then what's going to happen is when you write a certain point, when you hit day 21, you're going to go back and read everything. And you're going to be like, God, this sucks. Or why, how did I not? And then you start realizing, oh, the time I put into it. So then you sign up for a comedy class like I did for Ty Gwynn in Pflugerville. We did 4 Wednesdays. We did basically from, I think, 7 to 10, a couple hours. And we did we would work, but then he starts teaching you the joke structure for $250. That's not a bad deal. Like he's saved me so much time where I don't, because I'm at the open mics. I'm seeing a lot of people just try to literally figure it out. And where I was at, and I was like, I can't. It's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to figure it because I know I could write. I'm a creative writer. I can do all that stuff. But how do I get the jokes out? How do I really get the funny out? You got to hang around funny people. You got to be around you, and you got to be accepted by it, and you got to be open to it. So it's not even just about being quiet. Funny people want to hear funny things. So you actually got to learn how to be funny. They don't want just a guy that hangs out there and doesn't talk. Funny people want to hear funny things. So I'm learning that. And that's a CJ Robles original. Wow. I just thought of that right now. Funny people want to hear funny things. But the path to funny people is tough. To being a funny person is rough. But also, if you're still listening, Jared, dude, I would love to hear you at least get to day 4 or day 5 and be like, holy crap, dude, I'm doing it on something, whatever it is. And then later on, like let's say a year from now, or whenever someone else is like, hey, because of JR, I got the day 4. And then I saw he went to day 21. I got the day 21 too. It's kind of helping each other out. And that's what the video store is kind of really, it's a kind of a, because there's a fronts, right? So it's a front of it. It's a kind of me. So I just want people to know that if you have an idea, but also too, you got to know where you're at. Because I'm probably not even that good. I'm not hireable. Maybe that's where on certain jobs I'm overqualified, on other jobs I'm underqualified. So let's figure this out. Let's put the time into it. So sometimes you might not be good, but you got to keep showing up. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep showing. It shows you. It'll show you. But even like yesterday, I'll tell you this. Yesterday, I did not want to go. I was burnt out. My eyes are red. My allergies are killing me. I haven't slept. I've been trying to just do everything I want. I got to start sleeping now because I got a show on Friday. I don't want to look like hell, but I got to get all this stuff done. And I'm over here and I was thinking, I don't really feel like going stand up. That's 2 hours right there. I'm gonna lose, and not lose, but it's just 2 hours gonna go into it. And I'd rather sleep. And I ended up thinking I took that nap right before, so it kind of woke me up. And I took a nap right before stand up by accident. I just crashed, and I got comfortable actually. It wasn't like I got comfortable and I was like kind of just writing something and I fell asleep. And then I got there and I was just boom, I was just there. I was instant there. I was like, oh, I don't want to leave anymore. I wrote my set literally while I was sitting down. I had my phone. I wrote my other set, but I just like, well, let me see what stuck out to me. And I was able to like pop it off. It's not all good, but look, like I said, write 10 jokes. Tell your 10 jokes. If one person laughs, you get a ha. I would say, pardon, let's change this all up. This is what I did before. And I'll tell you what you would do now. If one person laughs, you have to come back. So if you get a ha or ha 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 or oh my god or whoa ha, anything, a pop. But now I would change that to you write 10 jokes, what you think are jokes. Then you go on stage, you tell all 10 jokes, and then if you get a reaction, not just a laugh, because I use the word laugh. So if you get a reaction, then I would say keep going. and then you have to go to the next open mic. That same if it's an open mic regular weekly, then you have to go to that one because you made someone laugh. So now keep the fire going. So I did that 2 years ago. I got on stage and I told myself that, but I didn't have the time to sit down and actually write jokes. But I got on jokes. I don't know if I've told the joke. I've probably told the story a lot, but basically what happened was I wanted to do this comedy. I started working in the theater, and I thought I was gonna get better at just writing and learning improv and being a better actor, being a better director, being a better editor, technician. I never thought I was gonna force me to do improv. I mean, stand up. So what it did was it started reading to me and speaking to me and telling me like, hey, you need to come up with on stage. It's your turn. Come on, you've seen enough. Come on, you've been watching this since you're 4 years old. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. You're getting old. Come on, you're getting older. You don't want to get the time pass and say I coulda, woulda, shoulda, and I never did it. And that's what brings me to my next point is I do all this so my son can't tell me. I mean, talk about me holding someone accountable. I don't want my son to ever come up to me and be like, Dad, you quit, so I can quit. Or you thought you got good enough, and that was enough. I don't want that. I want him to be like, well, I got to keep going. My dad kept going. He never gave up. And how do you know? Because he made videos on it and it's online. And if they end here, at least I can say for 21 days, for you to just do, if you keep doing it, if you do something for 21 days, you'll learn it. You'll learn that habit. You'll learn how to keep it a habit. Because I don't want to stop. I want to do it tomorrow. I'm already thinking about, well, can we get going? All right, let's get all the marketing going. Let's get it all doing. Let's save some time. We can get time back by doing it all at once. That's why Joe Rogan does 3 podcasts and like he does like 6 podcasts like in 2 days. But because he can have 5 days to do comedy. Because he takes time. If you were to go Monday through Friday to do, and you have to meet everybody, oh, it's too much. It's what might as well spend the whole day there, and start early and go midday, and then at night, and early, midday, at night. And I wouldn't mind doing that if I'm getting paid doing that. I'll do that. But what do you call it? Just I got 8 minutes, and I have to end in 8 minutes because this show is an hour long. I'm probably gonna go over a little bit because it's supposed to end at 9, but I'm gonna push it just a little bit. I'll say that, yeah, do what you have to do. And if you don't know what it is, you'll figure it out. An image is one thing. An actual like experience is another thing. If you want to be seen like you're cool and you want to be doing all that, keep that up. This generation loves that. But if you really want to do it and you really want to learn how to be in the big leagues and you really want to level up, you have to put the time in and you have to pay attention and you have to try. That's one thing I've always got to pat myself on the back. At least try. And I got tired of trying to make people happy. Like I just got to make myself happy because the depression thing is serious. So I got to make sure it doesn't really come at me. But I mean, it's always I'm comfortable with it. Like I can't get any more depressed. I've already been there. Like, so if somebody tries to put me down and put me more, I'm like, you got nothing on me. You got nothing on me. So that's why I've come in with this attitude because it's work. My mom instilled work in me, so I'm not scared of it. I'm not intimidated. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be at work. I am like that now because I know what I want to do with my time. I know what, and it's not my work's fault. It's there. It offered me opportunity. I'm happy for it. I'm grateful, but I'm ready to do something else. And this is what I want to do. And I'm happy. I'm happy I've had 2 people in here with me the whole time. Like I said, there's advice in this episode. Go back and watch it. I'll see what the AI clips, if it makes them. It's been not making my AI clips, but if it makes them, I'll put them out here. But I think because also like I've cleared a lot of space for the software that I'm using, so I can talk longer. And I'm not. It's already 9. See, but we'll go. I'll give you an hour because I did show up late, but I'm feeling it right now. Motivating. That's what I did. From when I was 26 years old, I decided to listen to motivational videos on YouTube, just motivational videos. And I didn't realize they made them so badass, so amazing. They make them like movies. So like from 26 to 28, I only listened to. I'm sorry, I started trying to learning to listen to them, but by the time I was 28, by the time like from 28 to 31, I only listened to motivational videos or motivational speeches or people that So I have a lot of that. I mean, that was when I was 26. I'm 40 now, so it's like 14 years. So I've built up of that. I still do it now. I didn't meditate this morning because I woke up and I was like, let's just do this. But we'll see. 21 days. At least we know that CJ can show up. I'm a reliable one. I'll show up. I might not have the skills, the tools that you need, but I'm reliable and I'm willing to learn. So when I show up, we can learn. You can teach me. I can learn to work with you. But I'm pretty sure that I know how to do the job. I just don't have enough time into it. But I've always learned how to be a human being. So that's one thing I'm going to work on, still being myself. But at the same time, like you can't cry about it. If this showed me anything, it's like, oh yeah, I made a lane for the for the video store. I clear path. I have all these years of small business classes, marketing classes, advertising classes, um, acting, motion graphics, animation, all that. I even took a basketball class. I loved it. And it was funny. I was 31, and everybody was giving me crap about not looking 31. And now I'm 40, and now I get more crap for not looking for. I like it. I'm gonna keep it up. Keep the routine. I have a routine. So if anybody's ever interested in that, we can probably go down that alley. But trying to find content, and I don't want to just. I'm not trying to be famous. I don't want to be. I'm 40. What do I want to get your attention now? Man, look at me. Look at me. No, I'm just a guy. I'm traveling through time and through life, and I'm just seeing what the obstacles that are in front of me, and I'm learning to get around them. I'm learning to go through them. I'm learning to break them. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going. That's all. That's what it's all is. When we play that, it reminded me of when I was in kindergarten, and that was my favorite game to play. So all I've done is really go back to my nostalgia and find the best pieces of it, and learn from the bad pieces, and then use it for my future, right? But just little things I was taught when I was a kid, I'm doing now. It's funny with ABA therapy, behavior therapy. If you really need to work on yourself, look into ABA therapy. Um, what do you call it? You can do this. A lot of the stuff works for children, but you can do it for adults, and it works. It's the craziest thing. You think like, oh, that's only works for kids. No, you do it as an adult, and you're like, oh my god, it works. Also, you want to work on your accent. I hope I'm saying your name right, Sabia. Um, if you want to work on your accent, like this, I'm not laughing. This is really. I don't even think I got Spanish books, but I don't know I don't know what I did with the English one. Read. I wouldn't. I don't really say Dr. Seuss because those are confusing. But read children's books. This is what I'm reading right now because I'm making a series. But read out loud too. But read children's books, man. That'll help you out. Like my parents never read children's books to me, so when I started reading them to my son, it started clicking in my head more and more, and I was like, oh, I was missing this part of my English, even though I have an English degree. This is crazy. Like I always struggled in the little pieces because I didn't do them, but now that I did them because I have a kid, I'm like, oh, filled in. So read children's books. They'll help you out. Man, I should be putting this on a paywall. This is all me. Now I'm gonna be irrelevant. Nah, I'm joking. You make yourself time. You make yourself to get better. You work on it. It's not gonna work overnight. And don't get mad at yourself. That's the number one. If you get mad at yourself, you hold all this energy, you hold all this hate, and the depression's like, oh, I'm gonna eat that, and it just brings you down. And we all have depression. Some people handle it better than others, and some people don't. So I had to learn how to handle it. Some people don't even acknowledge it, and it works for them. Like I know so many people that they're like, I don't get depressed. I'm like, what? Nah, I just don't care. Like, oh wow, that's like strong will. I'm like, man, I don't know why. It consumes me. But you don't get mad at yourself. It's not your fault that we're monkeys. We're all dumb. It's not your fault you're having a struggle learning. It's not your fault, but it is your fault if you're not making an effort. It is your fault if you're not doing better. It is your fault if you look at somebody and you get mad and jealous. It is your fault. So be accountable. Hold accountability. I know nobody wants to hear this. Hold accountability. We got to get the rough guy out first so I can get to the fun guy, because there is a foundation based off the rough guy. And the fun guy didn't make this. The rough guy did. So the rough versions of me. So hold yourself accountable, and just learn. And if you're in a relationship you don't want to be in, whether it's a parents, brother, sister, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, job, work on the relationship, work on yourself. Tony Robbins has a good quote, and he says, if you don't like your business, change it. You don't like your attitude, change it. Or you don't like your business, change it. You don't like your business partner, change them. If you don't like your wife, change you first, because if you're going to because that didn't work out, you're bringing that same person to the next one, and that might not work out. But when he says that, he says, change you first. That's like a big deal. Like, work on yourself. But I know I'm getting long in the tooth. It's already been 5 minutes past due. Everyone's got other things to do. We got other shows to go on. That's where I'm going to leave this. 21 days of streaming for 21 days in a row. I've done it. There are no level ups. They're all internal. There are no gains in life. It's just something I did on my own, for myself. But I'm going to keep it going. Let's see you tomorrow morning. I got to film too tomorrow, so I'm going to try to keep tomorrow's episode either early or quick or something. I don't know. It's my day off from work, but I have also got to do other stuff as work. So we'll see where we'll get. But 21 days, yeah. Just do it. Just do it. Come on, do it. Get in there and just whatever it is you like doing, do puzzles for 21 days. That'll work your brain out. But thank you for everybody for liking and subscribing, for the ones that have, and the ones that have left. Hey, man, come back whenever you want. Video store will always be there. But have fun and enjoy yourself. Don't take life too serious, but the serious things, be responsible and focus on them. I'm waiting 20 more seconds. I want to get it right at an hour, so I can get out of here and then get ready to go to work. I think the deliveries. I haven't got any notifications, but I want to get there already because I want to be there while the truck's getting done or something. So it's about right. So oh whoa, totally forgot to do what I was supposed to do. All right. Well, I'll see y'all later. Peace.